WCO to provide opportunities for leaders and managers to develop their skills. From then on, the WCO Secretariat has worked closely with member administrations as well as members from the academic and private sectors to develop a program that is adapted to the need of customs.
Funding government staff for international training, according to the Deputy Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs, Jules Desise, can have serious deficit on the national budget. Therefore, the intervention of the WCO can help in meeting international standards with less cost.
I would like to reaffirm the political will of the government for the modernization and reform of customs, including the prioritization and leadership and management development and training. Among the benefits of this training is to expand participants' knowledge of international standards on customs, including the revised Kyoto Convention. It will further contribute and benefit a local pool of leadership and training experts who can continue to support customs modernization over the long term.
This 10-day training, facilitated by officials of the World Customs Organization, is expected to enhance the delivery of service offered by this personnel of the Gambia Revenue Authority. Rohibite, Grts News.
We will be back with news from outside the Gambia after this break. Welcome back, and overnight news beyond our borders. Gunmen belonging to the Boko Haram group have killed over 100 people in a Christian-majority village in Nigeria's northeastern Borno state. CFI reports survivors are being treated for wounds sustained during the attack at a local hospital.
These wounded Nigerians are the survivors of an attack on a Christian-majority village in the northeastern Borno state, where Boko Haram gunmen killed over 100 people. Boko Haram claims to be fighting to set up an Islamist state. The Nigerian army has failed so far to stop the Islamist rebellion that has claimed thousands of lives since 2009. The King of Morocco, Mohammed VI, arrived Tuesday in Bamako for a 5-day state visit. He was greeted on his arrival by President Ibrahim Boubacar Keïta. There was a 21-cannon salute and a rapturous welcome from crowds as officials drove through the city. The visit aims to boost economic and diplomatic ties between Morocco and Mali. Morocco is seeking to become a rival of its Algerian neighbor to mediate in the crisis in the Sahel region. Chiefs of staff from all members of ECOWAS are meeting in Guinea-Bissau in the absence of any representatives from the Cape Verde Islands and Guinea itself. This high-level meeting concerns security in the region. The situation in Côte d'Ivoire, Mali and Liberia, as well as the host country Guinea-Bissau, are top priorities. There are presently 750 West African troops in Guinea to protect the transition government and the election process.
There was bloodshed in the Ukrainian capital overnight, in which 25 people were killed and more than 240 hospitalized. Central Kiev was in flames Tuesday night, and that was the bloodiest day in months of protest. Anti-government demonstrators appeared to be holding their ground today. Earlier during the week, they appeared to be a step forward, but the protest came to head when constitutional changes were announced in Parliament. The international community is condemning the violence. France and Poland have have called for sanctions. And talks last night between the Ukrainian president and opposition leader went nowhere. CNN's Phil Black was in central Kiev as it became a fiery battleground last night. He felt this report from the front line.
On Independence Square, it seemed almost everyone was working.
This is an ammunition production line. Stones, rocks, pieces of brick are being smashed up on the pavement back there, passed along from person to person, one at a time, to what we believe is the front line.
Not just rubble and bricks, timber as well. Anything they could get their hands on, anything they could use to help hold their ground.
This is effectively the front line. What you can see here is a line of people who are holding shields. Clearly they are prepared to put themselves between the crowd and the police, which we believe are on the other side. On the other side there are literally dozens of bonfires that have been built. The heat coming off this is really something. It is a bed, as far as I can see, of burning fire and embers, and the purpose is clearly to form a defensive barrier and stop the police and security services getting through. There is a whole row of effectively what is homemade artillery. These pipes, they use compressed gas to propel fireworks attached to Molotov cocktails to get more distance and bigger bang. And you can tell they are prepared.
And we saw this ominous silhouette. We're pretty sure it was a pneumatic pellet gun, but it's also another sign. Not everyone here is satisfied with just building defences.
If the police come, what will happen here?
I'm afraid thinking about this because these people not going back. These people standing here for their future, their lives.
Phil Black, CNN, Kiev.
Suicide blast in a Hezbollah stronghold in the south of the Lebanese capital Beirut has killed at least 4 people and injured 70 others. And the National Anti-Corruption Commission in Thailand says it intends to indict Prime Minister Yingluck Shinawatra for alleged negligence in relation to her support program for rights groups. We have more on these and other stories in this roundup of news.
Some 15,000 policemen in Thailand retook control of several sites occupied by opposition activists who are calling for Prime Minister Yingluck Shinawatra to step down. Violent clashes in the streets of Bangkok resulted in at least 4 deaths with 60 others injured. But the opposition has won a political battle. The National Anti-Corruption Commission says it intends to indict Prime Minister Shinawatra for negligence concerning a support program for rice growers. This could lead to her resignation. A double suicide bombing in Beirut on Wednesday killed at least 4 people and injured 70 others. The 2 kamikazes, one on a motorcycle and the other in a car, targeted the Iranian Cultural Center in a Hezbollah stronghold in the south of the capital. The attack was claimed by the Abdullah Azam brigades linked to Al-Qaeda and other Sunni radicals. Shiite Hezbollah forces are fighting with the Assad regime army in neighboring Syria. The student opposition leader in Venezuela, Leopoldo Lopez, underground for the past week, gave himself up to police on Tuesday after calling for a demonstration that brought out tens of thousands of people in Caracas. Lopez had been issued an arrest warrant following the violence last week that had resulted in 3 deaths. President Maduro has been getting tough with opposition leaders as economic conditions become increasingly difficult. French automobile maker Peugeot Citroën has accepted participation by the French state and the Chinese group Dongfeng in its financial capital. The Peugeot family has lost its status as primary stockholder. Chinese giant Dongfeng is investing 800 million euros, and the PSA Group